I'm coming up on 2 years of owning my Tacoma, and there are some things about this truck that drive me crazy. So I thought I'd put together a little list of the top 5 things that I hate, so people looking to buy a Tacoma know about them before they buy, and also just to kind of bond and vent with my other Tacoma owners out there. So I'll start the list off with the more small nitpicky things that I find annoying, and as the list goes on, I'll get to the more bigger problems that I see. So let's go. Problem number 1. The first annoying thing that I notice when driving my Tacoma off the lot, and actually still annoys me to this day, is this stupid media control on the steering wheel. I want to know who at Toyota thought it was a good idea to put volume up, down on the left and right buttons and put the track forward and back on the up, down buttons. It makes absolutely zero sense. Now, I know for most people this will be a small issue because your muscle memory will take over and you'll get used to it. But I know me and a lot of other people have multiple vehicles and we're switching vehicles a lot. And because of that, I find myself, even after 2 years, still hitting the wrong buttons sometimes, which is super annoying. Am I alone on this one? Who else thinks that this control setup is really odd? All right, number 2 on the list is the random smattering of crappy incandescent bulbs on this truck. I don't understand it. You know, we have really nice headlights. We have LEDs on the bed light. You know, we have LEDs elsewhere around the truck. But then when you come over to the dome lights here, those are incandescent. That dome light is also incandescent. And also, the license plates lights are incandescent. I mean, what the heck, Toyota? Would it really kill your margins to include LEDs all around? I mean, it looks really odd when some of the lights are this really nice bright white, and then we have a few random lights that are this really dull orange light. I mean, come on, especially on a TRD Pro, the top of the line trim, you guys couldn't put in LEDs everywhere? I don't know about that. Come on, Toyota, you can do better. The third thing on my list is the lack of space inside the cab. Now I'm talking passenger space and storage space. I knew that it would be pretty tight because obviously it's a compromise between the length of your bed and the size of your cab, but I just don't think I realized how little space there was until I got inside the truck. So it's something for you people who are looking to buy a Tacoma or any probably mid-sized truck to look at that space, especially if you have kids. It works fine with my kids. My kids are 7 and 10 and it works fine, but when I go out with like my friends who are all like 6 feet tall, it can be a little tight. So let me give you guys a little peek. It's hard to get a sense of how bad it is without someone in there, but I'll just show you guys. All right, so here we got the front seats. It's the driver's seat is adjusted for me. I'm about 6 feet tall. And that's how it looks. And now if we come to the back, this is how much space my kids have in here. As you can see, it's not much space. I mean, I can touch my kid's car seat to the back of the seat with my hand. There's a little bit of storage underneath this seat and behind. I have a jack in there and a couple other little odds and ends that I don't need to get to very often. Beneath that seat over there, or behind that seat, I would have more storage, but I have the TRD Pro, which has the JBL package, so I have a subwoofer back there, so I actually lose that storage space. So if you guys have other trims that don't have the JBL package, you'll have more storage space back there, but it's still pretty minimal. And because of all that, that's what kind of sent me on this quest for more storage. You know, you can see that's why I had to go with the Lightner system in the back. I have the Roam cases up top, just because I needed that extra storage space. All right, here we are back in the cab. Now, I'm coming from a Civic Type R. Now, I know it's not a fancy car, but the interior in that was super sleek, modern. The materials were very nice. And that car cost, I mean, with the markups on the Tacomas, it costs almost half of what this truck costs. And for the price that you pay for these, I feel like the interior needs some work. For one, it looks really outdated. I mean, it has pretty much the same layout that it's had for decades. A lot of the materials feel very plasticky. There's a lack of high current USB ports. What else? I know a lot of the other trim models don't have nice seats. They don't have powered seats. Some of them, I've seen some other Tacoma owners complain that they don't even have the auto up-down windows. You know, luckily I have a Pro, which means that I do have leather powered seats. I have a lot of the bells and whistles, so that's nice. But if you're looking at other trim models, you may be disappointed there. So let me show you some of the things. Here we are. The steering wheel is pretty basic. It has a leather wrap, but I mean, it's things like this. Can you guys hear that? This plastic, it just squeaks and it moves. Very plasticky feeling. The head unit is decent. It works. Again, I have the JBL set up, so I don't know if it's why I think it's okay. You know, the USB ports down here leave a lot to be desired. They don't really charge anything very fast, and the wireless charging mat down there is pretty useless. I do charge my AirPods in here, so that way when I go to the gym, they're fully charged, but yeah, it takes forever to charge anything in there. This material is okay. It's got a texture on it, but man, up here, it's super plasticky. This is all super plastic. Yeah, and the back seat is like, there's no frills in the back seat. I mean, the leather is nice, but there are no USB ports. There's no climate control. They do have 2 cup holders back there that it's hard for my kids to even reach them. So yeah, Toyota, I think for the price of these trucks, you can definitely make the interiors a little nicer. Please make them nicer, update them, make them look a little more modern, please. So anyway, yeah, that is my fourth? Yeah, that's the 4th thing on the list that drives me crazy about this truck. All right, so the 5th and final thing on my list is something that became more and more apparent as I modded the truck more. And that is that Toyota obviously doesn't care too much about enthusiasts. Now what I mean by that is that if you look at something like a Jeep, it's pretty obvious that they designed a lot of the vehicle to be modded, easily modded. The Toyota, on the other hand, has not done that. A lot of things that I've done so far, I was just like, why did they make it so hard to do anything on this truck? So I'll give you guys a few examples. All right, guys, so example number 1, this Prinzu rack. You would think with the truck being a utility vehicle that it would be super easy to install this rack. I mean, like a 5-minute job. Like, for example, on my Subaru, there were little doors up here that you could just snap open and screw the racks down, and it was super easy. But for some reason, on the Toyota, I don't know if you can see, but there's this channel in here, and Toyota put the mounting points underneath this rubber strip. So what you have to do is you have to pull that rubber strip off. You have to either punch holes in it or cut holes in it to make room for these standoffs to come through, which to me was completely ridiculous. As a utility vehicle, mounting a roof rack should not require that many steps. It should be super simple. So it really frustrated me. I mean, the install was easy, but it wasn't as easy as it should be. Exhibit number 2 are these rock sliders. You would think that Toyota would put some threaded mounting holes under here to bolt it on, but no, they didn't do that. What they did was there's just a bunch of through holes that probably were never meant to mount rock sliders, but the great engineers over at Cali Rays and CBI, all the other people making sliders, have found ways to bolt these things on. But it turns out to be super clunky because they end up being through holes with these really huge, monstrous washers that are custom made, and it's just not a nice process. So I think if Toyota really cared about enthusiasts, they would include some kind of tapped holes on there for attaching things like rock sliders. On top of the rock sliders already being difficult to install, Toyota actually put the brake lines right like right by where the hardware needs to attach the rock sliders on the driver's side. So it's a huge pain in the ass because you have to either relocate your brake lines or get them out of the way, which you really shouldn't have to do if this truck was actually, thought out ahead of time that people are gonna mod this, and let's make it easy for them. All right, and while we're sitting here, let's look at the next exhibit, these wheels and tires. Why is it, Toyota, that if we want to put on any tires that are bigger than the stock size, that we have to do some kind of mods to get them to fit? I mean, come on. I mean, these aren't even big. These are 33s. Come on, nothing crazy. I'm not trying to put 37s on there. That would be nice, but I'm not even trying that. You can't even fit 33s on there without something rubbing, unless you go with some super skinny pizza cutter type tires that, sorry if you guys like pizza cutters, but I don't like the way they look. Like where Jeeps or Gladiators, you can roll them off the lot and go straight and put on some huge tires. I'm really jealous about things like that. It drives me crazy that something simple like putting bigger tires on, we can't just do that without having to lift the truck, do a CMC, do all this extra work to get those tires on there. So, Toyota, come on. Think about some of those things ahead of time when you're designing the truck. Please. All right, those are my top 5 things that drive me crazy about my Tacoma. Now notice I didn't say anything about it being slow or the bad gas mileage because, let's be real, that's kind of just common knowledge at this point. Despite all of my complaining in this video, I still love my Tacoma and I would do it all over again, even knowing what I know now. The platform has legendary reliability. It probably has the best aftermarket support of any mid-sized truck. It looks great, it's easy to work on, and it has great resale value. Well, that's all I have for you guys today. If you're new here, my name is Matt, and I make videos about my Tacoma, camping, gear, overlanding, all that good stuff. So if you like the video, please consider subscribing so you don't miss out on any future content. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.